So I just finished like filming the talking portion for last week's video, and I am exhausted from like cleaning up like a storage box filled with all of my past like projects, past schoolwork, notebooks that I have lying around that I just shoved in there. And I wanted to organize it in a way wherein I could like put all of my completed used journals and notebooks in there. There is still a lot of space, but what ended up happening was that I have found these, which are like old stash of like magazine clippings that I have hoarded, a bunch of like my old notepads, notebooks, and like loose leaf that I have torn from like different notebooks from like my schoolwork and such. And I have this whole folder. I have these, which is like colored paper, watercolor paper I mean, and there is a bunch here that I did not realize that I have, so I'm going to put those to good use. And another like envelope full of like magazine clippings, old stickers. I don't know if many people have seen these types of stickers before, but it used to be like very cheap like anime printout stickers. I only have Chobits and Precious Moments left. I did have Tsubasa Chronicles when I was younger, but I used those, and these are the only ones that I have found that are left. These are like super cheap and like, as you can see, very like for kids. And to think about it, it is quite expensive actually for the time period, but oh well. And as you can see, they are like losing their stickiness. This has been with me since I was in grade school, and I only wanted to like look at it and reference it for like drawing when I was younger. And so I wanted to like give these stickers new life and use them in my journals for spreads and such in the future. But I won't get into that as of the moment, because this is still a lot, and I'm still like currently working on going through what I have included in my like box for the month, or the quarter rather, the third quarter of the year. So I'm still working on that, and these are like old scrapbooking stuff that I have, and I was actually surprised to see that there are still a lot of these. Granted, I have like thrown away a bunch of these materials in the past before it got around to like just these two envelopes. I used to have like a whole box filled of like magazine clippings and scrapbooking stuff, and it was terrible to organize, and it felt horrible. Hoarding feels horrible for me, but I am glad that I found these, because it's another out of sight, out of mind situation for me. So now that I have found these, I get to like put it in my art cart, wherein I could grab it for the next time I fill my scrap box for the next challenge. And what I have been doing for like these stickers that are no longer, or like has lost their stickiness, I place it in this box, because if you think about it, it looks so vintage. I even have like old Pokemon stickers from like, I can't remember what freebies these were, but they are like the very old first gen stickers, and also like Snoopy Peanuts stickers. And I thought about it, and I was like, why not just like use these as like normal like prints and such, just glue them onto the page. I do have like Ragnarok stickers here, and they are so damaged and like water damage and such, but I don't mind. They are they put a little bit of like a vintage flair to my journal pages that are also very anime. So I will add this there. This is too big, so I'm just going to put that in my prints. I also have these sticker books. These are so old. I also like got rid of my name. I think this was like in grade 6. I was 6th grade when I have this. And we usually, what my friends and I did for this, like my classmates, is that we normally use, oh dear. We normally use these ones, like the circles stickers one for like name tags. So what we do is that we take a piece of paper, write our name on it as neatly as we could. We put a sticker on, and then we tape all of it so that, and then we cut it out and it will turn into like a sticker name tag, like a DIY sticker name tag. So that's what we did, and we bought a bunch of these Mickey Mouse ones, Disney ones. I do have a Disney princess of this, but I don't know where it is anymore, or if I used it up or given it away. But as you see, it also is like losing its stickiness, so I am going to harvest these. I will use the term harvest because look at it, it's basically flying everywhere and coming off of their frame. But I'm going to use these. They're still very much okay to use, and this is also like for when you guys also have like old stickers that are no longer sticky. You could always just have a tape runner or glue at the bottom and you can still use them, because as I said earlier, these are actually quite pricey for the time when we bought it. So like if you think about it now, the price of money or the value of money that was in like 10 years ago is so different due to inflation and like market and such for the current period. So if there are stuff like this that are still usable and still give you joy, why not use it? And if you don't find joy in these stuff, then just dispose of it and give yourself peace of mind and also space. For my case, I wanted to use this still because, well, it's Disney, it's Mickey Mouse, and there's so many duplicates of these for the pages. Oh! Oops, sorry. Nothing, I just found Psyduck, which is fun. I also have, I will do this in my own time. I realized I could do this in my own time and not in front of a camera. I also have these release sticker albums, release paper sticker albums, and like, who do you think is my favorite character when I was younger? I really loved Hello Kitty when I was younger, but there are a lot of release paper here. These, I don't think they are good enough to use anymore. Like if you stick a sticker in here, I think it won't come off maybe, or like it won't stick rather. I don't know if I'm still going to use this because some of it like has been yellowed through the years. As I've said, this was like in 6th grade. And I also have Pokemon stickers here. I will use these. As I said, I forgot where I got this, but this is like badly cut Pokemon stickers with chunky Pikachu still here. And I just love seeing these. Like, it's such a shame that it's all damaged, but seeing this, like, this is from my childhood and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's one sticker album. Like, this is like the thing that I was talking about with the sticker name tag sort of situation, wherein we write our name and then like a logo here. This was custom made, obviously, and during my childhood there are a lot of like places in Manila, I believe, who do these custom printouts of stickers. And whenever my parents go to Manila for like business trip or just trips in general that I don't go with them, I ask them to basically custom make some for me for like these cases or like for my notebooks in school, but they were very pricey. So what my classmates and I do is the makeshift name tags for like daily stuff that are like very fast to go through, like notebooks in general. And my god, Barbie and the Magical Pegasus, was it? Oh, I really love Princess and the Pauper. Surprisingly, this still is on this page. Just that. Not sure if I'm going to use Barbie stickers. I could still use some of these like tiny deco stickers maybe, and then maybe give this to someone who's younger who could play with these. And yeah, that is the update so far for this week. We're going out tomorrow, hopefully, if it won't rain, and I will be having like road trip videos. Who knows if my battery won't run out, because I have not found my power bank for some reason. And like, we're going on a trip tomorrow and I don't know where my power bank is. So yeah, I'll be doing this for a bit, film a few videos that are going up for the week before I leave for that said road trip, so that I could clear some memory space. And I will see you in a bit. In a bit for you, but probably be tomorrow for me. So yeah, bye. friends, so it is Saturday today and I have finished one book this week, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms by George R.R. Martin, which is a novella story from the Game of Thrones series. This is the tale of Egg and Dunk, 3 stories, and I really enjoyed it actually. And it's fun because my vintage colored tabs are actually matching like the aesthetic and color of this book, so that's fun. However, I did not like annotate in this or like highlight or anything, and it's very fast to read actually because of all of the illustrations that are in this book. Granted, it is a novella. This is my brother's book. I didn't write or highlight anything. I just added the tabs, and I told him that if he hasn't read this yet, I was the first one to finish reading this between the both of us. So if ever he wants to read this, he could just take out the tabs. I don't mind that. I don't think I'm going to be rereading this anyway. And my tabs are actually, the red one is for like lore, specific lores about like Westeros and all of the different places, the lords and ladies of the land, the different names and such, that, to be perfectly honest, is so hard to keep track of. And I'm still like slowly knowing whether or not which Targaryen it is, which Lannister it is. But since this is like a century before the events of Game of Thrones, so these are all like tales from the past. I believe the story, with a little bit of what I've researched, the story of Dunk and Egg is part of some of the stories that were mentioned in the Game of Thrones series. And also, what I have here is that I have white for like quotes I like, and then the dark like greenish black ones are mostly for like plot, plot moving instances. And there's a lot of plot moving instances in just these 3 stories, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it like a 4 out of 5. There are parts wherein like just simply traveling and like very petty civil war situation, like what do you call this, like dispute with territory and such, and it is very much like feudal disputes and issues with all of the lords and ladies of this land, and I really enjoyed it. I'm also thinking about actually reading the whole Game of Thrones, because the only time or like instance that I have consumed any form of Game of Thrones media is through the HBO series, and I am thinking actually of picking up the books because of this. Already, I'm just going to say it, this week's like page or spread that I did for the weekly pages is one of the, if not the most unsatisfied I have ever made a particular spread in this entire year, mainly because I didn't feel quite as inspired as I usually am, but we'll just get right into it. Welcome to this week's talking portion of Cozy and Chaos. I hope that so far the video is going well. There were a lot of stuff happening this week that I'm supposed to be happy about. However, let's just jump right into it. So the spread that I did is actually not so much. As you have seen in the previous clips, this week our road trip out of town happened. I got a bunch of shinies, and I also accidentally got child in Genshin Impact. So this is what actually happened first, so I will talk about it. The first clip was me organizing my stuff, and also like seeing a lot of like items that I had in a box, in a storage box. So I had like some stuff there that I placed in here just to use it up, or else I'm just going to recycle them and throw them away. So I decided to just use them here, and I decided to just tip this in because I have a story here at the back actually about my Tartaglia pull here. So the banner changed, I think, in the evening of Tuesday. So that morning, I was actually grinding for Primos because I was planning very much to pull for Feminette, which is the younger brother of Lynette and Linny. And I was at 0 pity from Linny previously. So I'm like 50-50, 0 pity. What is the danger of pulling a few 10 pulls just to get Feminette? Even just 1 copy. I just want just 1. So what ended up happening was that I actually messaged my friend Roy in the morning and asked him, would it be better to pull for C1 Zhongli or a Z0 child? And he was like, if you don't really need child, you can just pull for Dongli. And I remember actually last year, my birthday last year, there was a rerun of child, and I was at 50-50, and I got Chi-Chi actually during my birthday pull, and it was fine because I am using Chi-Chi. She is C5 now, and I'm hoping for a C6 one of these days. Hopefully not in Nivelette banner, but yeah. So my thought process, and hear me out, was that what are the odds that I will be getting a 5-star for the 3rd time in a row that is under 30 pulls? Because previously, during Wanderer's banner, I got lost 50-50 to Kaching at 20 pulls, and then I got Lini at 15 pulls. So what are the odds, right? So, however, I did message Roy and said just a big what if. Should I get C1 Zhongli or should I get Child? And what ended up happening was that I was so indecisive. So you could see it in the video wherein I alternated, wherein I did Child, Zhongli, Child. And it just so happened that I got Child in the 2nd time I pulled this banner and got him at 27. I at first thought it was 37. So I'm like, it's still early. It's still, well, I still lost the enough Primo Gems to get to have New Vllo. However, during that time, at this 27 mark, I still didn't have a Freminet. I think I had to use another 10 pull or such. I'm currently at 50-50 at 30 pity for New Vllo. However, I don't have primos left. So that started my week, and I'm kind of upset about it because, to be fair, people are saying whenever there's pulling for banners in Genshin Impact, especially on a banner that you don't want, they treat you like a clown or something. And it's that way of thinking wherein if you don't want a character, don't pull in that banner sort of situation. But I am fine with it. It's just that it's too early, which I am supposed to be happy about. However, I am feeling very much mixed emotions. So yeah, I got the wrong child I placed here, but it's still a story to tell. I am still racing Tartaglia even though he's sort of outdated, and I even remembered watching videos wherein more than 50% of people who pulled for Child actually regretted pulling for him because of his cooldown, because C0 is insufficient when it comes to his kit and his internal cooldown and such. However, I'm enjoying it. It's fine. It's another basically another character to play around with while waiting for someone else. However, I'm also upset with Freminet for how long it took me to get him, but also it's 4-star. It's not guaranteed. You won't guarantee that particular 4-star, and it's difficult. And people in the comments might say, just don't pull for it then. Why? I wanted Freminet. That's why I pulled. So still, it's fine. It's another character, as I said, to race and to play with while I'm waiting for the next one. And then the next day was our road trip out of town to Rojas City. Just a short stop actually. It was the Paldean Adventure rate up of all of these except one. All of these rate up Pokemon I got shiny except for Weasel, which I don't know why, but it's fine. I got 6 shinies with 2 Lechonks, and I don't know. Can you even see Hoppip? He's there. It's so tiny and so green, which is matching with the background, but there is a Hoppip there. So an hour into our road trip, I got a shiny Weedle, and then hours after that I haven't gotten any until we reach our destination. When we reach our destination, I just loaded up because there's no signal out of town. Obviously, it's a very much a endless field of corn and rice fields. So when we reached the city of our destination, I loaded up Pokemon Go and I got a shiny Lechonk, which is the main goal of this whole Paldean Adventures rate up situation. So I'm happy that I got to. Funny thing is that this I got when we reached our destination there at Rojas City. And then coming home, I actually got this near, almost near where I live. So it's one is far out of town and one is literally in our city. So it's fine. And then I did shiny, I wanted to do a Masuda method. I did start hatching eggs for shiny Minior in my Pokemon Moon copy, which I don't have Pokemon Home. So what I do is I actually just transfer trade in between my Moon and Ultra Moon copy, because I have years ago when I got my Ultra Moon copy, I was so hard-headed to make it the point to have all of the shiny, the Pokédex entry, a shiny entry. So as soon as you have entered a Pokemon in your Pokédex, it has to be shiny. That's like my own challenge to myself, because I have finished Pokemon Moon, so why not give Ultra Moon a sort of challenge? So that's what I did, and I was like 500 plus eggs into like a Minior Masuda method, which if you don't play Pokemon, I understand that this is kind of like very technical. However, the long and short of it is that there is like a breeding system in Pokemon wherein you put a foreign, one foreign and one local Pokemon, basically like two different nationalities of Pokemon. Usually we get in trade. I have a Japanese Ditto, and then obviously the partner is like from my own game, so that's how we call it Masuda method, wherein if I think it is usually, the shiny odds are usually 1 in 4,096, and if you get a shiny charm, of course it cuts down, but if you use the Masuda method for like hatching eggs, it will become 1 out of 512 eggs you hatch, and usually that's basically the odds there. So I actually got, finally, it's kind of over odds still. I think it was my 536 egg for Minior. However, I really love the shiny, and I just wanted to be done with it. And then since it was like still early, I didn't feel sleepy at all, I decided to shiny hunt one of the most like difficult also to shiny hunt, which is a female Salandit, or Salandit, however you pronounce it. I got a shiny male. I needed a female because only females are the ones that can evolve into a Salazzle, and I really love shiny Salazzle. And so what I did, I decided to just shiny hunt SOS for it, and I didn't really count how many encounters I did. However, I do use the Cute Charm tactic, because what the ability Cute Charm is that if you have a Pokemon that has a Cute Charm ability at the front of your party, mostly the one that you will be encountering in your Pokemon encounter is the opposite gender of your Cute Charm Pokemon. So I have a male Clefable with Cute Charm, so that most, if not all, of my encounters will be a female. So to force that female Salandit rate up, because female, I don't know what the rate is, but female Salandits are very rare. So how much more is the like shiny version of it? So I think if I'm paying attention to like my encounters, it's like 1 every 13 encounters of male do I get 1 female. However, with the shiny charm, I think it's usually like 1 out of 5 or 6. So that's fine. I got I'll just spoil it, because it is Wednesday right now, so I'm going to spoil it a little bit. I did get 3 shiny male Salandits. I just didn't film it because what's the point, right? So yeah, that is my whole week so far. I did like start in this week, I did finish A Night, what is that called again? A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is a novella by George R. R. Martin, which is a novella part of Game of Thrones, like a prequel sort of situation, and I really liked it. It is 4 out of 5 for me. And then I actually started Leech by Hiron. I don't know if it's Ines, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Leech is like a gothic. I don't have a copy, I only have a PDF, so I'll put the cover on screen. But basically, it is a gothic horror of like, it's body horror basically, but to me it's not really that scary. It is very like, it's more of the medical aesthetics. It's a very full on its medical terminologies and such, but the underlying, I'm saying this because I already finished it this week, which is the next week for like the next video, so I'll explain more there. The underlying story and message of the whole story is really good, and so if you are able to look past like gross body horror medical stuff that are like very triggering and also very kind of gory, it's not that gory actually, for me at least, but I'm very much exposed to that sort of content. That's why it's kind of a bit tame for me. However, the ending was so satisfying and so good. That's why I'm kind of like, if you haven't read it and you're into like gothic horror and like medical horror in general, go for it. I really liked it. So yeah. And so that is it for this week. I hope you enjoy. I still have like a bunch of stuff to film. I have these two. I have started, so I'm just going to tell you this now. I started part 2 of like my anime vlog series, wherein the video ends. The video ends once I find a 10 out of 10 series, and like all I can say is like it feels like deja vu. And also I have this one, which is my anime review journal number 4. I have finally finished it. to the brim. So satisfying. And I'm going to flip through this, and it will be a video coming up next week, or like the weekend, possibly. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys, and